There was our ambulance and then 2 fire trucks. We all got there just about the same time. And I was driving. It was Amber's call. She was in the passenger seat. And I remember seeing the moped kind of leaning up on Alex, being able to discern that it was leaning on her. And Amber just kind of almost standing up in her seat to look at her and just saying,
"Oh my gosh, she's dead." And so I jumped out and I ran to the back, and I'd already gloved up and started pulling the motorcycle off of her. And then the fire got there at the same time, got the motorcycle off of her, and she started moving her arms. I mean, her legs are literally flipped over her head behind her, and she started moving her arms and her eyes were open, and I was like, oh gosh. So we're trying to figure out what to do, and fire's like, well, let's unroll her. It's like, no, let me think about this, don't unroll her. And so Jason, he grabbed the scoop stretcher, and we got her all positioned on there, and I was like, just leave her just like we have her. Let's just leave her like that. She should have been dead. You think backwards, what's the only thing that's keeping her alive? Her hose is kinked. Simple way to put it. If we unkink that hose, we know all the energy was used up in her legs, so the brakes, dislocations, everything is going to be down low. All the sources of potential bleeding are going to be down low. So let's just keep it like it is.
Each thigh can lose potentially up to a liter of blood, which, she's definitely not a big girl. So that's 2 liters of blood. Just those 2 could be significant fluid losses. For a trauma patient, blood loss is everything. I don't really remember her screaming when we got into the truck. I just remember hearing it over the headsets. We were in a relatively older truck that had headsets to be able to hear in the back. And I remember her that screaming, and then hearing it kind of die down as we got to the hospital, and that was when Amber had been able to give her some pain medicine.
The firefighters were trying to work on her. I got an IV in her, got some fluids going, and I basically just slammed all the pain medication I had. Just slammed it in there as we were pulling on to the dock. And en route, it was like she was trying to tell me something, but she couldn't quite make the words out. And the firefighters and me, all of us, like, normally this isn't as bad, but everybody's eyes were tearing up, and they were all just stroking her. I was like, poor baby, just hang in there, and it was just, it was different. Because normally somebody with that severe of an injury is not awake. And that part, watching her just be awake, like, how much does she know is going on? What is she feeling right now? The extremeness of the pain has got to be, why hasn't it made her pass out by now?
Remember opening the back of the doors as we were bracking, just thinking that nobody needs to be conscious going through that kind of pain. And walking into Brack, but just seeing the look on the nurses' faces, that was rough. That was rough, I think, on everybody.
When we took her in, they put her on the bed, and they immediately unrolled her. And I watched her thighs grow and the blood loss, and she went hypovolemic. And as I was walking out the door, I hear the compressions going. And that was just how it would have played out in my head. I knew everybody was questioning why we brought her in like that, but once they unrolled her and then they had to do chest compressions, they completely understood. that was like midday. Then we went back to the scene because I was like, I just want to get all the details of this right in my report. And there you were, and you were, I know you don't remember me seeing you, but just watching you. And I remember that they had mentioned that they thought that she didn't make it. I was like, no, she's still fighting.
Then going back and just stopping to talk with the traffic cops, and lo and behold, you pull up. And then knowing that we pretty much ruined your day.
And you had a little book bag, which we left there. Sorry about that. And I think her water bottle. I can't remember. And it was just really weird just to watch you. And I was like, man, I don't think he should drive to go to the hospital. Did you drive? I don't know how you managed because you were having an out-of-body experience at the time. And it was just really strange to see you. But I thought it was fate. It's another one of those fate things that we showed up, because otherwise the police on scene thought she passed. So if we hadn't have shown up, then we couldn't have told you she was still working on things. You know, I'm actually good if that's the only positive outcome I have for the rest of my career. If that's the major thing that happens to me, you know, after putting 23 years of service in, I'm okay with that.